Layer 2, the tip of the iceberg.
The great beings are humans. This theory suggests what it says. Well, not really theory, it kind of does make sense though. It's pretty much suggests that the great beings are humans, and it kind of does make sense with Madanui and Makuta being lesser than it. As in, Makuta, as he said, he represents destruction, and Madanui represents building, as in, they're both skills that people have or abilities people have. Humans are able to destroy and build. Pretty much, in other words, it's kind of like Lego. They have the ability to destroy Lego and able to build Lego, in other words. So it's not so. It's kind of obvious though. So next section.
G2 killed Bionicle. This just suggests that, it can be multiple things, but the most likely thing is that, since G2 didn't really sell well in its first few waves, lots of stores didn't want to lose any more money, so they refused to take the second year of Bionicle at G2. Apart from my heard, it was only Toys R Us and a few other smaller stores that actually took it. I know of a few stores that I live near, smaller ones that did take them, but that was really it, but very little in stock. So if they tried bringing Bionicle back, even if Lego really wanted to, lots of stores would refuse to take it, which is kind of like the final nail in the coffin. Pretty much saying that most stores would just refuse to take it, so it's just been plummeted into the ground almost, and there's a very low chance of it coming back. So that's the idea of G2, killing Bionicle. On to the next one. Douma equals Norwich. Now, what I'm guessing this is Turaga Douma, his Kanohi is the same as Norwich's Kanohi. So I'm guessing that people, and they came out around the same time with Norwich only coming out a year after, so I'm guessing people just I'm guessing people, either A, people just get them mixed up as the same character, or else B, people just sometimes like to think that they are the same character, but they know they aren't. Or else it could just be they're just very similar, but I'm not too sure. Bionicle prototype images. This is just kind of self-explanatory. It's just the prototypes, pretty much. There's a few of them of the boxes and all, like some of this Bionicle playsets and all, but it's just kind of self-explanatory. So if you look them up on the internet, you can find tons of them. But yeah. Velika was, spoiler alert, he was a Matoran from 2006, who turns out his body was actually possessed by a great spirit. But we do not know the great spirit's actual name. We only know he only goes by Velika, as it was Matoran's name. So later on in the story, if the storyline would have continued, we would have seen Velika trying to be the main villains, if not the main villain of the later. I don't know. I do not know if I should call it later half, as apparently if Bionicle had have continued, it would have ended in 2021. No, 2020. But so I guess I'll just call it the later half. Of Bionicle G1, he would have been the main villains, if not the main villain, as he'd already started killing the beings of power like Trenkron and Karzani. Anyway, on to the next one. Destiny is the third virtues out of the three virtues, which all three virtues are unity, duty, and destiny. Destiny is pretty much one's purpose in life, and it plays an important role in the storyline. Let's say, for example, Energized Protodermis. If it's not one's destiny to be, if it's not the destiny to be transformed by it, or whether they'll be destroyed by it, but if it is their destiny to be transformed into a more powerful form or something like that, then they'll survive the experience of the energized proto-dummies and be transformed by it. That's just as an example. And usually whenever one, let's say for example, Toa completes a destiny, they can become Turaga, which from what I know, by the end of the storyline, Tahu and all were able to, but they just needed to find Liwa first. But yeah, on to the next one. The Council. Now, I'm a bit confused at this. Whenever I looked it up, I couldn't really find anything, apart from the Marinui Council and the Onukoro Council. I forgot the exact name, but yeah, pretty much what it is just village councils to decide on science decisions and all about the place and all. It's almost like a governing body. I would say it's the only one really Bionicle universe, apart from a few other ones here and there. But yeah, again, I just couldn't find anything about it. Sorry. (14B 2020). It's a cryptic kind of like word. Of course, 2020 means the year 2020. It was done by Christian Faber. I think that was his name. But basically, from what I remember, B4 is, from what I've heard, it's supposed to mean Bionicle. Though it's just kind of confusing. From what I know, Christian Faber was trying to do something, make his own thing that was a lot like Bionicle, the same kind of story, I guess. He was like, but at the time he was trying to do it, but of course COVID-19 ruined it all and all that stuff, his idea. So it was later delayed and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that's why it's called 2020, because it was supposed to happen in 2020. But yeah, there's still not really much news coming from it, but it was very cryptic and all and stuff like that. And people were thinking Bionicle's completely coming back. But again, it was just very confusing and stuff like that. It's been a while, and I can't really bother looking through 20 or so 10 or so videos of just them people talking about it and all. So yeah, sorry, but I can't remember exactly what it means. But yeah. So it's time to go into the next section.